At the beginning of the story, there is a 19-year-old boy named Howie. He seems to be a normal student who doesn't want anything other than to keep living his quiet, boring life. Until one day in his class, a school beauty named Shaw thinks that Hao Yi is the father of the baby she is expecting, but he says he doesn't even know her. The news makes him sad, and his classmates start to hate him because they are jealous of him. So he tries to get away, but out of nowhere he runs into this hot, athletic girl named Tang, who tells him with anger that she knows what happened to Shaw. She seems sad, and she says that he's a heartthrob, but again, he doesn't know her and has never talked to her before, so he has no idea what's going on. When he meets a third girl named Lin, who looks like the cute nerd, and tells him that his 2 kids at home miss him, he has the whole school behind him. He is very confused because he doesn't know who these girls are, and no one else believes him either. He gets away from the situation and ends up on the roof, where the students corner him so much that he has no choice but to jump. But just when he thought he was going to die, a girl named May, who is a Cupid, saved him and told him what had been going on for days. How he ate these special chocolates that make people think they'd remember love when they eat them. Which is why the 3 girls have these stories to tell Howie all of a sudden. She says that the only way to break the curse is to give each girl what she wants most. He starts with Shaw, who is sad because she thought that jumping off the roof was how he died. We all know what happened though. He goes back to her to say he's sorry and takes her to get a pregnancy test, which comes back negative. How happy he is with how things turned out. But Shaw says she will try her hardest to get pregnant the next time, which only makes him more confused. He decides to take her home, where he finds out some things, like that she lives alone in a mansion most of the time because her father works all the time. How he starts to act boldly and rudely. Over the phone, he tells Shaw's father that he made his daughter pregnant. When he gets there, it's obvious that he's a very rich and important businessman, but he doesn't seem to care, and he tells him that no matter how much stuff he can give his daughter, she needs her father in her life because she is too lonely. Shaw's eyes fill with tears of joy when she sees Yi stand up to her father, and we see that he gets through to him. This was enough to fulfill her deepest desire and make the false memories of love she had go away. But the next day, Shaw asked how you can go on a date with her, which confuses him since he thought all of her memories had been erased. May, on the other hand, tells him that a normal memory can't be erased, so she can't forget anything that happened at Shaw's house, which makes her fall in love with him. Howie reluctantly agrees to go on a date with her, and just when things seem to be getting better, his childhood friend Aong shows up out of nowhere. We find out that she has always been crazy about Howie, and the Cupid chocolates had nothing to do with it. She kisses him in front of everyone because she wants Shaw to know that he is hers. Shaw is worried about the situation, so she checks with Hao Yi to see if the date is still on, which it is. Tang catches up with Hao Yi as he's walking up the stairs and slaps him, telling him that they're breaking up. He tells her that no one will like her if she keeps acting like that, and she storms off. When May shows up, he asks her if everything would be better if he just broke up with the girls. She says he doesn't know anything about women, and that when a girl says we're breaking up, she's just trying to warn him. How he still plans to go on the date with Shaw, and how they end up having a good time when the big day comes. Even better, they go to an anime convention where they run into Tang again, in which they find out that, despite looking tough, she has a secret hobby as a cosplay girl, which she hides because she doesn't want to lose the respect of her classmates. But she's always wanted to win the competition that happens every year and needs 3 people, so Shaw says they'll help her. He doesn't like the idea because he doesn't want to dress like a woman. But it looks like he has no choice in the matter, as they force him to dress up in a costume. Tom goes to change, but when she looks at her costume, she sees that someone tried to hurt her, so she gives up and goes. He looks for a way to run the competition, and when he gets on stage, he gives a speech from the heart to Tang, telling her that she doesn't have to hide parts of herself or pay attention to people who criticize her, and that the real her is beautiful. Tang then falls from the catwalk, saving the competition and helping them win. Shaw starts to worry after he and Tang have a beautiful moment together, but she doesn't tell anyone. How he is free right now and uses that time to study because he wants to be the best in his class again, like he was when he was young. He always raced against Aeon, but he always came in first. That is, until high school, when he started letting her win so she wouldn't bother him so much. But he wants to get back to where he used to be, so he makes a bet with Tang and the other girls in the sports club. The winner can ask the loser to do anything, but one of them has to score higher on the next midterm test than he does. Even though he gave them a huge advantage, Howie is still very sure of himself. He studies all the time and asks his teacher for help a lot. Tang and Shaw start to feel lonely because they want to spend more time with Howie. But he only thinks about himself, and on the day of the test, he ends up getting the highest score in the whole school. As it turns out, he wins. Tang must do what he tells her to do. He tells her that she has to dress up as a maid for 2 weeks because he thinks that will show who she really is. And it does make her very happy because it gives her what she's always wanted and breaks Cupid's curse. But the last girl shows up. As I said at the beginning, she is supposed to have 2 kids with Howie, but they turn out to be real and were made up by her false memories of how he plays with them. He decides that he needs to find a way to make things right with Lin, so he goes with her to her house and meets Lin's mother. She seems to have false memories of him as well, and she is angry that he hasn't come back in days. But she lets him come inside and eat with them. How Shaw calls him and suggests that they go out on Sunday. He finally agrees. Lin, on the other hand, wants to go for a walk with the kids on the same day. Since he is so smart, he doesn't want to set 2 different dates, so he agrees to do both things on the same Sunday. The 2 girls can't wait for their dates and to see how he splits up the time when the day comes. He spends some time with his new family, playing with the kids and taking them to a theme park. But he has to meet with Shaw soon, so he leaves his kids with their mother and goes to see Shaw, with whom he has great chemistry. They take pictures and go to the park, where Sean often asks Howie to marry him, sometimes with a kiss. He leaves her alone in the end. When May shows up again, he's still not sure why the pretty girl at school likes him. He still thinks it's because of the chocolates, but May says that it doesn't and that her feelings for him right now are real. How he goes back to Lin and the kids, stays with them all afternoon, and takes them out to eat. We find out that Lin has problems with her father that she doesn't like to talk about, so he looks for ways to find out what's going on, so that she could get her heart's desire and get rid of the curse. A teacher from Lin's old school tells him that she used to be very happy as a child, and when her father took her to school, she paid close attention. Then, out of the blue, her father never came back, and ever since then, she has had this longing sadness. How he tries to find Lin's dad. He got some possible phone numbers for himself with the help of his brother, who works for the police. He tries all of them, and the last one turns out to be Lin's father, who is a very successful businessman. How he talks to him about leaving his daughter, but it turns out that he is not her real father and was only with the mother for a short time. This makes him not sure what to do. When he asks the mother what's going on, she doesn't say anything. But the neighbor who talks too much says that Lin's father is not around. He finds out that she was married to an officer a long time ago, but he died soon after their wedding. This left her very sad, of course, but she met a businessman who wanted to take care of them. After a short time, though, their families had too many big fights, so they broke up. This made Lin feel very sad about her father. When he finds out all of this, he is very upset because there isn't much he can do about it. But after he thinks about it, he tries to persuade the businessman that he should go back to them, but he fails. How he gets angry, then calms down and decides to spend time for now with Lin and the kids. But all of a sudden, Lin is in a very bad car accident, and she has to go to the hospital. They quickly tell Lin's adoptive father, who arrives at the hospital quickly and sees that Lin is fine and has no injuries because Howie took the hit and ended up saving Lin. But not everything was bad. Lin and her stepmother got back together, which was Lin's deepest wish coming true. Howie is in a dreamlike state where he says goodbye to the children since the curse has finally been broken. When he wakes up, Lin is with him. So how does he end up making the first 3 girls' dreams come true? because you didn't know that the chocolate was also tried by 3 other girls, but that will have to wait until another time. For now, everyone is happy, and we're left with a girl shouting the protagonist's name and telling us what's going to happen next. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure the bell is on so you never miss a video. We'll see you next time. Be careful.